नमस्कार, इंकलाब टीवी चैनल में आपका स्वागत है।
Namaskar. I welcome Sri Hardeep Singh Puri ji, Minister Civil Aviation, Sri Pradeep Singh Kharola, Secretary Civil Aviation, and colleagues from the Ministry of Civil Aviation and friends from the media. Ministry of Civil Aviation has undertaken numerous initiatives and significant steps for growth and development of aviation sector in India amidst COVID pandemic. Vande Bharat mission has played vital role in bringing stranded Indians back to homeland, and international flight operations for several countries have been undertaken under air bubble arrangement. Domestic flight operations have also picked up pace and moving towards pre-COVID numbers. I request the Honorable Minister to brief on the civil aviation sector, the friends of the media.
Thank you very much. I think most of you are familiar with my colleagues here from the Civil Aviation Ministry. Apart from our host, we have DGCA Arun on my left, Secretary Civil Aviation Pradeep on my right, CMD Air India, and Chairman Airports Authority. We had decided in the interest of efficiency and to ensure that more time is available for the question and answers, that we will circulate some basic data to you beforehand. I see from my friend, the Rajiv Jain, that nodding that believe that has been done. I don't intend to make a introductory statement. I just will give you a few bullet points and then we'll open it up. I'm sure you have interest in most of the work that we have done, and my colleagues and I will try and respond as fully as we can. But just one comment on 2020. You know, when you refer to 2020, it's supposed to be perfect vision. When we think back on the year 2020, I don't know what you want to describe it as. I have a term which I won't share with you, but we've learned a lot of lessons. We've learned what a major disruption can be, but I'm confident that out of all this, we have come out much stronger. I mean, there were things that I could never imagine that we would be able to take up as a challenge and really go up. I'll share that. But some of the points, 5 or 6 points in terms of how aviation has proved its resilience, and about 10 or 12 things which we have utilized COVID as an opportunity. We were able during COVID to introduce total contactless procedures at airports. Now nearly 100% web check-in is taking place. And I think that even in times when COVID is just a think of the past, that's a great achievement. New experiment in fares. The fare bands have tried to balance the interests of travelers as well as that of the airlines. A new protocol for air travel, sanitization, personal protection, hygiene have been given prime importance. Air cargo has been given due importance. We are almost at last year volumes in terms of air cargo already. Providing level playing field to our carriers, both in terms of passengers as well as cargo vis-a-vis other competitors. Udan operations are back to normal with revised norms and new modes, including now we have helicopter and seaplanes. We have utilized COVID as an opportunity, rationalization of airspace. I'll go into more details when you ask questions. But earlier, 60% of our available space was utilized. And I think this has resulted in a very major reform. Seamless transfer of PPP airports to the private sector. New policy for flying training schools. The DGCA is to go totally online. eGCA project rolled out. Rationalization of taxes on MROs. New building height regulations around airports. New drone regulation of aircraft from India being enabled. thrust on increasing our share in international cargo, air bubbles established, disinvestment of Air India, multiple bids have been received, and Digi Yatra progressing. So these are just some bullet points I can state with a degree of satisfaction. Now we are open for questions because, and during the process of responding to those questions, we'd be very happy to elaborate on some of these points.
13.
Sir, Paulamy from India Today. My question is about the UK flights. Today, the flights from coming in from the United Kingdom, are we going to continue with the suspension of flights? Because we've, of course, discovered that at least 6 persons carried back the new variant of the virus. And also, there are 13 other countries besides the United Kingdom and India who have found this new variant. What about flights coming in from there?
Yeah. In the spirit of total transparency, let me just recall what we did. We had, at the time when we imposed the temporary suspension, and I stress those words, at that time we had something like 40 plus flights a week, 60 plus week. So Air India, and I thought 40 says 60, which means you had almost 8-9 flights a day. Now, what has happened is we've temporarily suspended the flights, and the passengers who came in from the time of announcement to midnight on the next day, they were subjected to compulsory, mandatory quarantine at the point of arrival. Even those who tested negative were required to go in for mandatory home quarantine. But we went one step further. What we did was we went back to 25th November, and any passenger who had come in directly or indirectly directly from the United Kingdom, we did some contact tracing. We did some genome sequencing. Now, the latest figure I have that of all the passengers who came, now if you have 60 flights a week, and you have, let's say, these are all wide-bodied aircraft, and you have something like 2,500 or even more a day. So if you have 8 of them, 60 of these flights, you can say a number. I believe in 6 cases, the genome sequencing has shown a different strain. Now, I'm subject to check. Now, your question is, what happens on the 31st? The answer to that, as comprehensively as again, this is something on which we are applying our mind just now, okay? Because we are already on the 29th. I foresee, now I'm speaking not with a mandate as an announcement, I foresee a slight extension of the temporary suspension because we are getting the fuller picture of what has happened. I don't expect that extension to be a long or indefinite extension. I'm not going to put a figure on it, but the words I'm choosing will give you an idea. A slight extension, small extension of the temporary suspension. Because I also see that flights from the United Kingdom to other countries are similarly suspended for the moment. But I think we are getting a handle on this once we have the genome sequencing completed and we have a fuller extent of the picture, and I think that will give us the confidence to open up flights again.
Sir.
Well, we are monitoring that. I mean, for instance, if I heard in South Africa there were 1 or 2 cases elsewhere, we are monitoring that very carefully. We are monitoring that.
Sir, you have already answered this question, but I'll read if you want to add anything. Since 6 cases of UK virus have been found on the arrival, does the government plan to extend the ban of flight beyond 31st December?
I have, in fact, not only responded, but the person asking the question and I have the same number in terms of genome sequencing. But these are laboratory tests carried out all over. I don't know what the final number would be where this is found. But I think the message which I'm very happy to convey is that our systems are in place. We have managed the contact tracing. We are doing the testing. And as I said on an earlier occasion, speaking to some of you informally, should further steps be warranted, we are ready to take them. But just now, I would say the current situation will remain, and we probably may look at a marginal or a short extension of the temporary suspension.
Thanks. 22.
मंत्री जी को नए साल की मुबारकबाद अभी से दे दें, क्योंकि आज 29 तारीख है। मेरा सवाल ये है कि एयर इंडिया के डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट के बारे में जो आपने कहा कि बिट आ गई है, तब तक कितनी बिट आ चुकी है?
देखिए, पहले तो मैं आप सबको नए साल की शुभकामनाएं देना चाहूँगा। एयर इंडिया का जो डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट या प्राइवेटाइजेशन प्रोसेस है, वो 14 दिसंबर थी एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट फाइल करने के लिए, और 5 जनवरी को जो सरकार की डिपार्टमेंट है वित्त मंत्रालय में, डीपम, वो इंडिकेट करेंगे कि जो बिडर्स आए हैं, अभी तक तो मैं आपके सवाल का यही जवाब दे सकता हूं कि उस डिपार्टमेंट के जो सचिव हैं, उन्होंने शब्द जो इस्तेमाल किया है मल्टीपल बिड स्कीम। तो मल्टीपल का मतलब है कई बिड्स आई हैं, पर इनमें से कितनी शॉर्ट लिस्ट होंगी एज हैविंग क्वालिफाइड आफ्टर हैविंग मेट द क्राइटेरिया, ये 5 तारीख या 6 तारीख को जनवरी में, अभी कुछ ही दिनों में इसकी हमें जानकारी मिल जाएगी। उसके बाद जो पोटेंशियल बिडर्स हैं, इंटरेस्टेड पार्टीज हैं, उनको समय दिया जाएगा 90 दिन का। उस दौरान वो जो एयर इंडिया की बुक्स हैं, एयर इंडिया की जो अकाउंट्स हैं और जो बाकी इंफॉर्मेशन है, उसकी अच्छी तरह वो जांच कर सके, और सरकार को भी मौका मिलेगा उस दौरान कि वो जो पोटेंशियल बिडर्स हैं उनकी हम वेटिंग कर पाएँ, उनके बारे हम ड्यू डिलिजेंस कर पाएँ। उसके बाद फाइनल फाइनेंशियल बिड्स का समय आएगा। बट आई वुड, if there are any points secretary wishes to add, or please, yes.
Sir, if you can permit me, related questions for Air India, I'll read those questions.
Yeah,
also.
why don't you do that, then we can answer.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Today is also the last day for interested parties to submit their physical bids. Would you like to share as to how many bidders have submitted their physical bids? Part B, is it possible to get the figure on the number of EOIs for Air India? Air India Group operated 6,200 flights under Vande Bharat and evacuated about 10 lakh people. What is its net profit or net loss from this information, and the data is available with the government or not?
No, I can tell you that the first question, which dealt with the number of bidders, last date, as I mentioned, was 14th December. And the total number who have submitted expressions of interest and those that will qualify, that information will be made available by DPAM on the 5th, because they have this period to undertake their scrutiny of the preliminary expressions of interest that come in. The number of people who have been brought back on Vande Bharat is way higher than the figure mentioned in the question. It is close to 4.2 million now, or 42 lakhs, out of which Air India's share is about 10 lakhs plus, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
A million out of that. So 4.2 million totally have come back, out of which more than 25% is Air India. Air India used to fly prior to COVID to something like 40 countries outside India, if I'm not mistaken. But now, during the Vande Bharat, it is flown to 75 destinations as part of these repatriation efforts under Vande Bharat. Insofar as the profit or loss, that was the question, I'll request CMD to enlighten you on that. But after Secretary has filled in the gaps, or if he wishes to add anything on the Air India privatization.
The Air India privatization process जो चल रहा है, it is a 2-stage process, और इसको पूरा काम कर रहे हैं, there is a transaction advisor who is running the process. और जो प्रणाली बनाई गई, सिस्टम ऐसा बनाया गया है कि the integrity of the process is very important, and everything has been kept in such a way that the process goes on in a transparent and in very robust manner. So the first stage was सबमिशन ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, मतलब बिडर्स इतना बोलते हैं कि भाई हमें एयर इंडिया में इंटरेस्ट है, दिस इज नोन एज एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट। इसकी जो लास्ट तारीख थी वो थी 14 दिसंबर। तो एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट आ गए हैं। जैसे मैंने बताया आपको कि प्रोसेस की इंटीग्रिटी के लिए इसको पूरा का पूरा कॉन्फिडेंशियल रखा गया है ट्रांजैक्शन एडवाइजर के पास में। मतलब उन्होंने हमको भी नहीं बताया कि किस किस की बिड्स आई हैं, उन्होंने इतना ही बताया है कि मल्टीपल बिड्स, मल्टीपल एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट आए हैं और अब उसकी स्क्रूटनी चल रही है। स्क्रूटनी के बाद में जैसा कि हमारा कैलेंडर हमने अनाउंस किया था 5 जनवरी तक वो उसको काम पूरा कर लेंगे और तब देखेंगे वो कि एलिजिबल जो एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट जिन्होंने दिया है उसमें से कौन कौन एलिजिबल है। नेक्स्ट स्टेप होगा जो एलिजिबल लोग हैं इनसे हम रिक्वेस्ट फॉर प्रपोजल मांगेंगे, विच इज नथिंग बट द फाइनेंशियल बिड। तो माननीय मंत्री जी ने यही बताया है कि ये 2 स्टेज प्रोसेस में फर्स्ट स्टेज हमने पूरी की है, सेकेंड स्टेज पे अब हम बढ़ रहे हैं। सो दैट्स व्हाट अबाउट द एयर इंडिया।
सेकेंड स्टेज की ओर हम चल रहे हैं। राजीव,
of like passengers ex-India to different destinations globally. Our financials have improved every quarter. Q2 was better than Q1. Q3 has been better. We are currently in Q3. This is a good traffic season. A lot of international passenger movement is there, both inwards into India as well as ex-India to various destinations, particularly USA. USA continues to be, USA and Canada, North America continues to be our prime market from a passenger point of view. Our last year financials have since been compiled. The Air India financials have been concluded as well as for the 5 subsidiary companies. Last year we undertook a cash loss of about 3,600 crores. That was significantly lesser as compared to the previous year of 2018-19. That's all about the financials.
26.
ये सर नेक्स्ट वीक से या नेक्स्ट मंथ से वैक्सीन आने वाली है जिसका ड्राई रन चल रहा है आजकल, तो क्या सिविल एविएशन मिनिस्ट्री ने भी कोई ऐसी व्यवस्था की है कि वैक्सीनेशन को एक जगह से दूसरी जगह इमीडिएट ले जाने के लिए कुछ आपने भी व्यवस्था की है क्या सिविल एविएशन मिनिस्ट्री ने? सर
देखिए, मैं प्रदीप जी को रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा इसके बारे में बताएं। ये दिस सर मल्टीपल स्टेक होल्डर्स इसमें, जिसमें सिविल एविएशन मिनिस्ट्री, एयरपोर्ट्स अथॉरिटी, एयरपोर्ट्स, एयरलाइंस, दे हैव अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल टू प्ले, बट लेट सेक्रेटरी एक्सप्लेन दिस टू यू।
Administration of vaccine में the transportation is going to be a very important component. Now this vaccine has to be moved from the place of manufacture, which are 3-4 big places in India, to all the corners of the country. अब ये जो movement होगा, it will be first of all multimodal. It cannot be merely civil aviation, it will be a combination of different modes. तो हमारा जो component है उसके लिए हमने एक समन्वय के लिए, coordination के लिए Ministry of Health और Ministry of Pharmaceutical साथ में जो ग्रुप है उसके साथ हम काम कर रहे हैं। इतना ही नहीं, हमने खुद अपने एयरपोर्ट्स की और एयरलाइंस की सभा बुला के उनको हमने काफ़ी सचेत कर दिया है कि ये सब होना है। उन्होंने भी अपना प्लानिंग अपनी प्रारंभ कर दी है। इसमें मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट आएगा मेंटेनेंस ऑफ द वाइटैलिटी ऑफ द वैक्सीन के लिए टेम्परेचर रेगुलेशन। इसके लिए ट्रांसपोर्टेशन बहुत ही ज़्यादा एसेंशियल हो जाता है, बहुत ही अहम है इसमें। और पूरी की पूरी जो ये कोल्ड चेन बनेगी, इसकी इंटीग्रिटी को कहीं नहीं टूटे, ऐसी व्यवस्था की जा रही है। So from the place of manufacture, it will come to the place of consumption is a long chain, and there will be different modes. There will be road travel, there will be air travel, there will be storages, there will be distribution, and then there will be administration. ये पूरा काम जो है वॉर फुटिंग पे मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फार्मास्यूटिकल और हमारे साथ ये काम हो रहा है। और एयरलाइंस जो है इसके और एयरपोर्ट्स भी हमने आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया है कहाँ हमारी फैसिलिटीज़ हैं और क्या फैसिलिटी हमें ऐड करनी पड़ेंगी, उस पर भी काम हो गया है। अब जैसी प्लान बनता है कि कौन सी वैक्सीन को कहाँ चलना है, कैसे जाना है, उसके साथ डिटेल्स हम पूरा साथ में वर्कआउट करके इसको हम बिल्कुल इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए आपको उसको हेल्प करेंगे।
सर मोर
नहीं, वैक्सीनेशन के लिए जो प्रोटोकॉल बिल्कुल अलग बन रहे हैं। हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री अपनी प्रायोरिटीज ड्रॉ अप कर रही है और उसके हिसाब से हमें चलना पड़ेगा। ऐसा नहीं होगा कि जो आया उसको लगा दिया। तो उनकी प्रोटोकॉल होंगे, उनकी प्रायोरिटीज होंगे, उसके हिसाब से काम होगा.
Sir, related question, sir.
Fixing vaccination priorities is a task undertaken by all countries. There are some commonalities if you study the priorities, but clearly in the first lot, जो हमारे यहाँ expected है कि जनवरी से वैक्सीन अवेलेबल होगी, हमारे यहाँ the effort will be कि जनवरी से लेकर जुलाई तक करीब 30 करोड़ beneficiaries को ये वैक्सीन जाए, which means you need 60 crore doses. But the priorities will be fixed by the health ministry under overall guidance from the, as per the discussions. Now, ये airport पे arrival people from outside they can be tested for whether they are carrying the virus, but not for vaccination. Equally, it stands to reason not that people go from here to another country and then suddenly get vaccinated. There also the vaccines are given to people who are either frontline COVID workers or those who are senior citizens or those who have pre-existing conditions or comorbidities. So, जो आप सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, I don't think that is part of the...
Sir, it is a related question.
जी.
I think more or less it is covered, but I still read. Has the ministry approached different airlines to prepare for distribution of this vaccine? What are the various contingency measures being taken by Civil Aviation Ministry, particularly for vaccine distribution?
I think Secretary has already answered that very comprehensively. As I said, insofar as the broader thing is concerned, many components of this Ministry of Civil Aviation, the transporters, that is the airlines, the airports, and other parts of this thing are very important stakeholders. Right. So they are all been in touch. I can only share with you that in 4 states, dry runs are actually taking place now or this thing. And the rollout, as if I may be permitted to say that, on all issues relating to the pandemic, right from the time of the initial lockdown to the calibrated opening to conducting tests, etc., producing a health infrastructure. Also, the concerned government department is fully in control of this, and the transportation, which is, as Secretary said, a multimodal exercise, the civil aviation component will certainly undertake the tasks assigned to it.
15.
सर अभी मैं आमिर हूँ न्यूज़ नेशन से. अभी जो 24 देशों के साथ एयर बबल सिस्टम था उसमें यूके का तो अभी सस्पेंशन चल रहा है, लेकिन क्या इसकी वजह से जो नया स्ट्रेन है इसकी वजह से और एयर बबल्स जो बनने थे उन पर रोक लगी हुई है या अभी भी उस पर वर्कआउट हो रहा है?
नहीं, देखिए, आपने कहा कि अभी 23-24 देशों के साथ हमारा एयर बबल है, विच मीन्स बायलैटरल अरेंजमेंट है. उसमें से एक जो है यूनाइटेड किंगडम, हमने टेम्पररीली सस्पेंड की हैं फ्लाइट्स. वो जो नया स्ट्रेन है उसकी जानकारी की गई है. एज आई मेंशन, जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग हुई है. वी हैव बीन एबल टू डू दैट, एंड इन द नेक्स्ट डे और 2 वी विल फाइंड आउट वेदर एनी एडिशनल स्टेप्स नीड टू बी टेकन और व्हेन वी कैन स्टार्ट ईजिंग द करंट टेम्पररी सस्पेंशन. अभी तक दिस इज ऑल आई कैन शेयर विद यू.
50.
बट देयर इज नो कॉज फॉर एंजाइटी ऑन दिस स्कोर.
सर, ये ड्यूरिंग कोविड पीरियड वंदे भारत मिशन के तहत ऐसी बातें सामने आई जो पैसेंजर को दुबई जैसे देशों से आने के लिए 2.5 लाख, 2 लाख, 1.5 लाख ऐसे पे करने पड़े. तो इस तरह के कितने कंप्लेन मिनिस्ट्री को मिला है?
जहाँ तक मुझे जानकारी है, एक भी कंप्लेंट नहीं आई है, एक भी. कुछ लोगों ने जब वंदे भारत मिशन की फ्लाइट्स की शुरुआत हुई थी और नंबर ऑफ सीट्स बहुत कम थी और फ्लाइट्स बहुत कम थी, तो जो क्रैश, वो क्या कहते हैं, वेबसाइट जो थी वो शुरू में क्रैश की क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा डिमांड आ गई. और उस क्रैश करने के कारण कुछ लोगों ने इसका फ़ायदा उठाने की कोशिश की. कुछ लोगों ने कहा कि अगर आप हमें कुछ कंसिडरेशन के लिए हम आपको सीट दिलवा सकते हैं, ठीक है. तो इसमें जब हमने जानकारी की, हमने भी डिकॉय कस्टमर्स भेजे तो एक भी केस आगे नहीं आया. लोगों ने कोशिश की उसकी फ़ायदा उठाने की, but there was absolutely not a single case. But I want to give you some statistics on Vande Bharat and हम इवैक्यूएशन स्टेटस बनाओ. मैं बताऊं, आपने जैसे एक जगह का नाम लिया, यूनाइटेड अरब एमिरेट्स से वी हैव ब्रॉट बैक 12,91,681 पैसेंजर्स. 12 लाख पैसेंजर वहाँ से लाए हैं. सऊदी अरब से लाए हैं 3,13,000. यूएस से लाए हैं 20,08,292 पैसेंजर. कतर से 19 लाख पैसेंजर्स. सो ओमान से 18 लाख. देखिए, अगर आप 42 लाख लोगों को लाए हैं और उसमें कोई कंप्लेंट, जैसे आप बात करते हैं, आपने उसका क्या किया गया? एक कंप्लेंट हमने कई बार एयर इंडिया ने एडवर्टाइज किया कि किसी के पास डिटेल्स दीजिए, आप नाम किसको दिए और किसने लिए हैं, और हमने केसेस भी फाइल किए हैं. जैसे कुछ लोगों ने यहाँ पे एक जगह है दिल्ली में वेयर दे समबडी सेट अप ए ट्रैवल एजेंसी काइंड ऑफ थिंग. वी फाइल्ड कंप्लेंट्स एटसेट्रा. सो इसलिए अगर आपके पास कोई इंफॉर्मेशन हो, बड़ी खुशी से हमारे साथ शेयर करिए. पर ये शुरू में हुआ था कि लोगों ने इसका फ़ायदा उठाने की कोशिश की. कहीं भी जब डिमांड बहुत होती है और the number of seats was in short supply, so some people tried to take advantage. Other than that, I am not aware of anything.
Sir, next question is on the airports. What is the status of PPP in Thiruvananthapuram Airport? Is there a cap on the number of bids a single bidder can win the latest round? If not, why not? Could a timeline be given for 6 airports under PPP model, including Trichy?
Now, let me just give you the history of airport privatization going back to when the first 2 major airports were privatized. I think the year is 2006. Delhi and Mumbai airports were privatized. They were very successful operation. Out of that, I think Airports Authority received 29,000 crores, which it could utilize for the other airport development programs, etc. After the Delhi and Mumbai, for many years, there was a stipulation in the contracts that only entities which had private expertise or experience could bid in airport privatization, which essentially meant that all the others were effectively excluded. Because this is one of those things, if you haven't done it earlier, you couldn't. Then after that, these things were lifted. Several other airports got privatized. In the year 2018, November, a bid was, an announcement was made for 6 airports to be privatized. That's before I became a minister. I became a minister here in June 2019. All those 6 airports, I will tell the Chairman Airports Authority, will give you the detail, or Secretary. All those 6 airports have been now processed. We are now looking at additional 6 airports. 6 plus it could be, in which we are the final stages. And meanwhile, Jewar Airport has succeeded. Again, Jewar Airport, if you look at the bidding, you had those who had bid earlier for these airports. You had different parties, and the bid finally was in a very transparent, open, competitive bid. An entity from outside India, I think it was Zurich Airport, won the bid, and it was a very competitive bidding. But so that is on. We are, by the way, we are developing another 100 airports. So insofar as privatization is concerned, as I said, I've listed out these other ones which there, 6 in 2018, another 6 plus now, and we'll be going forward in developing airports like Kushinagar International Airport. We're looking at many airports in UP, but I'll request Secretary and CMD Airports Authority to fill you in on the details.
So as the Honorable Minister mentioned that the second phase of privatization of airports started, the bids were invited in 2018. और उस टाइम पे 6 एयरपोर्ट्स को हमने ऑफर किया था पीपीपी मोड पे, और उसके लिए बिड्स आई थी, अच्छा कंपटीशन हुआ था. उनमें से 3 एयरपोर्ट को तो हैंड ओवर कर दिया गया है इन अ वेरी सीमलेस मैनर, means the change was not even felt by anyone. And the three airports are Ahmedabad, Lucknow or Mangalore airports have already been handed over to the PPP partner and they are running the airports. 6 में से 3 और बचे थे और उसमें त्रिवेंद्रम एयरपोर्ट में कोर्ट केस फाइल हुआ था. हाई कोर्ट ने हमारे फेवर में जजमेंट दिया, बोला कि द प्रोसेस हैज़ बीन रन इन अ वेरी एफिशिएंट एंड ट्रांसपेरेंट मैनर. सो एंटायर प्रोसेस हैज़ बीन अपहेल्ड by the High Court of Kerala, and now all the hurdles for the remaining 3 airports have been cleared. Their security clearance also has been obtained, and we are likely to sign the concession agreement with the 3 airports in the month of January. I will request the chairman to give further details.
Going further, the 3 airports that were left, the Union Cabinet approved our award to them in August 2020, and we issued a letter of award in September. The security clearance has been received in December, and we expect that the concession agreement for these remaining 3 airports, that is Thiruvananthapuram, Guwahati and Jaipur, will be signed in the first half of January 2021. As far as the next round of 6 airports are concerned, we are at the final stages of obtaining government approvals, and once the approvals are received, I think we will start the process of bidding in the first quarter of 2021.
32.
सर, मैं अजीत झा हूँ यूएनआई वार्ता से. फेयर कैप के बारे में मेरा सवाल है कि जब ये कैप लगाया गया था, फेयर बैंड लगाया गया था, तो उसमें आपने कहा था कि जैसे जैसे यात्रियों की संख्या बढ़ेगी उसके बाद फिर इसे समाप्त कर दिया जाएगा, ये टेम्पररी है. तो यात्रियों की संख्या अब काफ़ी हद तक पिछले साल के लेवल तक आ चुकी है, ऑलमोस्ट 80% तक आ चुकी है, शायद 80% का परमिशन भी है फ़्लाइट्स का. तो कब तक इंतज़ार करना पड़ेगा लोगों को कि ये फेयर बैंड हटेगा, या इसे लंबे समय के लिए अब रखने का विचार है?
देखिए, जहाँ तक फेयर कैप का सवाल है, दैट इज़ अ फ्लोर प्राइस एंड अ सीलिंग प्राइस. जब हमने फेयर कैप इम्प्लीमेंट की थी, हमने उस समय ये कहा था कि दिस इज डिजाइन टू मीट ए पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन विच हैज अरिजन. हुआ क्या था कि इन दैट सिचुएशन देयर वाज अ कंप्लीट डिसरप्शन ऑफ सिविल एविएशन ट्रैफिक. देयर वर रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल, एंड इफ यू हैड नॉट हैड द कैप, you would have had some people utilizing those resources in order to either produce irrational fares. In normal times, there are irrational fares. For instance, on a particular aircraft, you could be traveling where somebody has paid 20,000 for a seat and somebody has paid a very low set. So insofar as my understanding is concerned, and I'm quite happy to have a discussion, because civil aviation has not opened up in the normal manner as was there in pre-COVID, we are moving in that direction. So the fare cap has benefited both the passengers and the airlines. This is my assessment. Obviously, somebody who has a dominant position in the traffic would want it's done slightly differently. Somebody who has a different segment of the market may want it differently. But by and large, everyone, passengers and the air carriers, have benefited from the price band. Now, as far as we are concerned, we have opened civil aviation in a calibrated manner. 30 मई को जब हमने civil aviation domestic open up kiya tha, that day we had something like 418 flights and 30,000 passengers. Today, I have the figures of आज 29th है, कल के नहीं, परसों के मेरे पास हैं figures. We had something like 100 flights and 256,000 passengers. Now, our aim is to slowly increase this 256. I'm hoping that the holiday traffic by the end of the year, first week of next year, will reach 300. Now, I always call that near pre-COVID figures, but my secretary correctly points out that pre-COVID was slightly higher than that. So, we will open up. अब 80% से हम कितने जाएंगे, हम constantly review करते हैं. हम कई बार एक दिन में कई बार बातें करते हैं. और अगर if the passenger growth remains steady. अब जैसे मैं आपको, I want to share some. Tuesdays को हमेशा travel कम होता है. For some reason, people like to travel less on Tuesday. But if you compare Tuesday with the previous Tuesday, it's still higher. So if this goes up to 300, as we expect, obviously we will open up from 80% and above. But these are factors that we take into account. But we keep our fingers crossed. Because, you know, the behavior of the virus is not something you calculate in terms of your civil aviation growth rate. The civil aviation growth rate gets affected by the behavior of the virus. शुरू में हमें ये लगा कि अगर कोई strain आया तो maybe domestic उस पर असर होगा. अभी ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. So we are, I think, on the course to opening even beyond 80%. But when we will do it, how we will do it is something I would like to closely monitor and then go in that direction.
29, just please.
Haji?
Just next.
No, as I said, when I announced, आप पिछली अगर press conference में आए, मैंने उस समय कहा था, अभी का price band जो है February तक है, and we will monitor the situation, then decide whether we need it or we don't need it. It's not a thing on which I have a position. It depends on how the situation is evolving. And so far, all those who are participating in the price band are quite happy. Some of them say, नहीं थोड़ा ऊपर वाला बढ़ा दो, some say नहीं नीचे वाला बढ़ा दो. But हम सबके साथ stakeholders के साथ चर्चा करने के बाद ये निर्णय लेते हैं.
Sir, Hina from Times Now. Today, 6 UK returnees have found the new variant of coronavirus. Government's data suggests that 33,000 passengers returned between 25th November and 23rd of December. But another big concern that has emerged is that, like, in Telangana, over 279 UK returnees are still untraceable. Similar is the story in Karnataka as well. So are there going to be some specific measures from the airline side to help the state governments identify these travelers? Because some had given incorrect, personal details. So how is the government planning to help these passengers get traced?
Look, I'm not aware of any serious problems in tracing passengers. What happens is that when you book an airline ticket, your details are known. And I think the bulk of the passengers have been traced. And many people are also well-meaning. They come forward themselves. If there are any gaps in identifying a few people, I'm sure with the spread of information and knowledge, they will come forward. That's not really a problem. What you have to ensure in these things is that you are undertaking now these flights. I mean, as Secretary was mentioning, of 60 flights a week were taking place now. I don't know what the figure was on 25th November. Large number of passengers came. Those who have, look, first of all, they couldn't have boarded the flight unless they had a negative RT-PCR report within a test taken in 72 hours. They couldn't have boarded the flight. Then after coming back, supposing somebody developed symptoms, etc., they can be contacted, and once they're contacted, out of them, again, those in whose case it is necessary, genome sequencing is being done. And we have discovered, as you said, or somebody else said, 6 cases where that strain has been found. We'll monitor that. And if any additional measures need to be taken, but so far, I think everybody is exuding confidence in being able to deal with the situation here.
And what about the
52.
international
Just please,
air
next
travel?
question.
International air travel after 31st of December?
That has been answered earlier, madam. Just 52, next question.
No, I'm talking about international air travel in
No,
general.
international air travel is taking place. When you have air bubbles with 24 countries, I know for a fact that, for instance, UK, you had 60 flights a week. With the US, we must be having something like 50, 60 flights a week. 60 flights a week with Canada. So air travel is taking place. But sometimes there is what I call terminological inexactitude. What you mean is, when will air travel take place in the pre-COVID format? Like every airline announces its winter schedule or its summer schedule. That depends on the behavior of the virus, and it also depends, madam, on the entry restriction. Now, what has happened is that, for instance, some countries don't allow any passengers to come in. We allow very large number of people to come in, but we are also not open to tourist visas yet. So normal travel, normal civil aviation, international, will take place when the virus gives countries the confidence not to impose entry restriction. That could change. Now, I'm choosing my words very carefully once a vaccine is readily available, but whether the psychology of those taking the decisions will get more confidence and which month they'll get confidence. But I see in the first half of next year, much of this will be hopefully a thing of the past, and we will have civil aviation as per normal pre-COVID style again back.
Hi, sir. I'm Ashok Raj from ANI. Is there any new SOPs has been issued or advised to the airlines ground staff for the handling of vaccines, which is coming soon? And second, is there any updates on Kozhikode accident investigation and cause of accident?
तो आपने कर दिया जवाब.
I think, as I mentioned, that yes, all the main stakeholders, the airports, the ground handlers, and the airlines have been alerted, and they have been asked to drop their plans. The exact SOPs will be formulated with the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Pharmaceutical when we know the exact quality of vaccines. What are the precautions to be taken, how it has to be transported, and what all measures are required. Those have to be factored in. So that will be done nearer to the date of transportation, and or yes, the detailed SOPs will be laid down. See,
within the 5-month stipulated period, the inquiry report on that accident will be made available, and I have no reason to believe that there will be any change in that. I think that 5-month period is in January? January. So I think you will have the report before that.
Sir, there is a question for the training sector now. Just please, there are many more yet to ask the question. Just follow me. You have already had your turn. What are the various objectives of Airport Authority of India hopes to achieve through the 6 airports being opened up for flying training organizations?
One of the issues facing the civil aviation sector in India is the availability of pilots. And all of us are seeing that pre-COVID, the volume of air traffic was growing, and the prediction was that India was going to become the 3rd largest aviation market in the world. And naturally, when the volumes are going to grow so high, you need a large number of pilots to man these civil flights. Unfortunately, there was not enough training capacity in the country, and most of you would be aware that a significant number of our young students who were keen to become pilots, young boys who were keen to become pilots, had to go abroad to countries in the developed world like US or Australia or elsewhere to take the training, which implied a significant outgo of foreign exchange and a drain on their own families' own resources. So to counter that, the ministry had set up, advised us, and we had set up a committee. Air Chief Marshal Fali Major, former chief of the air staff, who was also an independent director on the board of Airport Authority of India. And it consisted of other experts and DGCA and other experts in the field. And the idea was to identify the shortcomings that stop effective training capacity coming up in the country, identify good locations, because for setting up good flying training schools, you need clear sunlight and clear weather throughout the year. You cannot have fog-like conditions or bad visibility in certain months, which curtails the hours of flying. So that committee deliberated and it worked for about well over 6 months, and it identified 6 locations in the country which could be ideal for setting up such flying schools. And on the basis of the committee's deliberations, we had internal discussions in the ministry, and we formalized a way of concessions, because one of the problems we faced, we saw that most of the flying schools have faced earlier is the amount of dues they owe to the Airport Authority of India because of the typical land leasing policies. So we tried to rationalize that. So after rationalizing that, we have come out with bids, and we are getting a very good response. In the first pre-bid meeting, we had more than 25 interested parties who participated, and we expect that they will come forth and set up flying schools at these 6 locations we have identified. We are allowing 2 flying schools at each location, so we expect that 12 flying schools will come up and meet the shortfall in training capacity in the country.
Last question, 48.
प्रशांत हूँ सर, मैं न्यूज़
think,
जी,
sir,
हेलो, न्यूज़ 24 से मैं प्रशांत हूँ। मैं आपको सर एक इंसिडेंट बताना चाहता हूँ। परसों जम्मू से दिल्ली आने वाली फ़्लाइट स्पाइस जेट की, हम लोग वापस आ रहे थे, बहुत सारे पैसेंजर्स थे। ये मेरी कंप्लेंट नहीं है, मैं पैसेंजर्स की कंप्लेंट आप तक पहुँचाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। मिसबिहेव किया गया, मिस इन्फॉर्म किया गया, दोपहर से लेके शाम तक सही जानकारी नहीं दी गई, लास्ट में फ़्लाइट कैंसिल हो गई। नेक्स्ट डे भी सेम वही हुआ, फ़्लाइट कैंसिल हो गई। और जब लोगों ने वहाँ पे पूछा, भाई सही समय नहीं बताया, किसी की कनेक्टिंग फ़्लाइट छूट गई, किसी की जॉब छूट गई, लोग परेशान हो रहे थे। उस जब शाम को 6 बजे फिर लोगों ने मिसबिहेव करना शुरू किया पब्लिक के साथ, स्पाइस जेट के लोग। तो ये ऐसी सिचुएशन क्यों आई वहाँ पे, और इसका रेड्रेसल क्या है?
देखिए, let me, all such complaints, there is a prescribed method for bringing this complaint. जो आप अभी complaint कर रहे हैं, is probably some airline did not operate a flight या उनके लोगों ने misbehavior किया है. That is a thing which I am sure if you had sent it to the concerned airline and if they have any interest in safeguarding their reputation, they will respond to it. Nahi to we are always here. So, but this is a press conference on civil aviation in the year 2020. So ये जो incident है, बड़ी खुशी से है, मेरे जो senior colleagues हैं, DGCA बैठे हैं, और अगर ये DGCA के notice में आता है, पर जो भी incident है, आप किसी पे, but I am not willing to accept कि इतना, it's on such a large scale, we also get feedback from the number of people. अब इंडिया में 2019 to 20 में the number of passengers was 137 million. 137 million. Every complaint is a serious complaint. I have witnessed it, you have witnessed it. उसका correction होगा. But उसका, what is the purpose in this? अगर किसी के साथ हुआ है, the airline, if the airline becomes a habitual offender or etc. like that, people will not travel in the airline. Or if something needs to be done by the regulator or the ministry, we are happy to deal with it.
I think, sir, 256.
So there were some reports
देखिए,
about
सोशल मीडिया एक ऐसी चीज है, समझे बगैर कोई शुरू हो जाता है, ट्रोलिंग शुरू हो जाती है। किसी ने वहां पे 2 लाख रुपया ले लिया, एक भाई साहब अभी बोल रहे थे, किसने लिया, किसको दिया, कोई ले पाया, और अगर वेबसाइट पे ऑनलाइन बुकिंग हो रही है, उसमें कैसे कोई इंटरमीडिएरी ले सकता है? सो आई गेट मेंबर्स पार्लियामेंट राइटिंग टू मी, आई रिप्लाई टू एवरी लेटर. अगर मेरे पास कोई चिट्ठी आई होती, I would have given a reply.
So there were certain reports about some foreign carriers carrying passengers beyond their points of destination, which are
Yes,
not
I
allowed
also
to.
saw
How
those
serious?
reports.
How serious is the problem?
Yeah, no. What you're talking about is sixth freedom. I think I've also seen those reports. Let me just give you a small background. You see, we are operating in somewhat extraordinary times. We are now trying to ensure that countries with which we have entered into air bubbles or point-to-point agreement, that passengers are carried by the carriers on those sectors. For instance, we have an air bubble with 24 countries, so the carriers of both sides, with countries designated there, can carry passengers between them and that. Now, there have been some complaints. I saw, for instance, in the newspapers, a letter which had been written apparently by the DGCA to the DGCA's counterpart in some other country, telling them that they had come across cases of violation of the air bubbles. Now, I have no doubt that there must be some, I mean, if DGCA is a autonomous regulator, if DGCA has come across the cases, they have taken it up. But how far and how widespread these are, I don't know. But I can tell you that we are very clear. We are very clear. You travel from point to point. In some cases, because we don't have air bubbles with the other parts of the world, like Latin America and Africa, we have decided, for instance, that we will allow them. So it's not that the carrier concerned has to take place passengers only from where the carrier is based, but also maybe for Africa and Latin America. So other than that, I think the system is working reasonably well, but if there is something that Secretary or DGCA would like to mention, please do that.
So there are occasional instances in which it has happened, and we have pulled up the concerned airline also. but largely it is point to point. But sometimes it happens that some person is traveling from here to Dubai and 2 days he stays there and then he has to go somewhere. In such cases, we cannot intervene because Dubai or Doha also is a destination in a sense. But largely it is point to point. But as Honorable Minister pointed out, there are places which are not connected by bubble arrangement. For example, Israel. There are a whole lot of people going to Israel for job. In such cases, we are allowing them to go. Similarly, for going to Latin America and other such connections, we are allowing people to go, but not on a big scale. Occasional instances have come to our notice and we have acted against them.
Right, sir. So I have a question for Air India CMD as well. Sir, it has come to light that about 70 of your pilots are being sent for further training. But what is very curious is that those who are specialized in the Boeing fleet are being sent for Airbus training. Those in the Airbus fleet are being sent for Boeing training. And this has a huge commercial and financial implication. What is the logic behind this, sir? Because Air India already, I mean, we all know the kind of stress that it is under financially, and this has an impact on the exchequer. The cost comes from the exchequer.
So this is a natural career progression path of pilots. Pilots move from P2, which is the first officer, to a commander position. They graduate from narrow body to a wide body, and then from a wide body, for getting command, they sometimes come back to narrow body also. So this is a routine career progression path of the pilots.
Years also. But then the demand came, but no, all the perks that we enjoyed, free travel, free this, free that, etc., should also be carried into by the entity which will own the airline after privatization. Now, these are not things I think which should be. These are things discussed best as CMD has explained, and I think they would also, all of us would be encouraged if gentlemen like you also stuck to more important areas in civil aviation rather than sectoral focus. So any parochial thing that you bring up, somebody can give two counter ones also. So as a CMD explained, this is a pure career progression issue. And insofar as Air India, if it had not run up this completely unsustainable debt, we would not be looking at a privatization. But I think tendencies like this are better checked.
Sir, I would like to thank you and all the friends from the media, sir. Thank you very much.
इंकलाब टीवी चैनल यदि आपको पसंद आता है तो इसे लाइक कीजिए, कमेंट कीजिए और सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलिए। इंकलाब टीवी चैनल की ओर से हमारे सभी तेलुगु और हिंदी व्यूअर्स को नववर्ष की ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं। वी विश यू अ वेरी हैप्पी न्यू ईयर।